All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today we're diving into how one of the oldest car makers out there, Renault, is planning something, well, revolutionary. We're talking robots, slashing prices, and even building cars for their biggest rivals. So yeah, let's get into it.
All right, so let's jump right in. This whole thing kicks off with one absolutely massive goal. Something that could shake up the entire car industry. Renault isn't just trying to make their electric cars a little cheaper. Nope, they're going for something way more radical. Yeah, you're seeing that right, a 40% cut. They're aiming to slash the production cost of their new EVs by a staggering 40%. And look, this isn't just some small tweak. This is a total reinvention of how you even design and build an electric car from the ground up. So naturally, you gotta ask, right? How is that even possible? You don't just find 40% savings in the couch cushions. This needs a serious technological leap, a secret weapon, if you will. Okay, to find that secret weapon, we have to go to the factory floor. Because the answer, well, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. The workforce is changing, and it is changing fast. So here's a big piece of that puzzle. We're talking about a new workforce of 350 humanoid robots. And these aren't your typical factory arms bolted to the floor. No, they're designed to handle the really heavy, repetitive stuff, working right alongside the human teams to just supercharge efficiency. But look, the robots, they're really just the muscle here. The real brain behind this whole operation is AI. It's this invisible force that's optimizing everything. As you can see, we're talking about cutting energy use by a quarter, slashing downtime in half, and even helping engineers design simpler cars with 30% fewer parts. You add all that up, and AI alone is knocking off a huge 20% from production costs. Okay, so these crazy futuristic factories, they're just one piece of a much, much bigger puzzle. Renault is thinking way beyond just the production line. And this whole vision, it comes straight from the top. The CEO, Francois Provost, is basically laying out this bold new path. He's framing it as a moment of real clarity and purpose for the entire company. And it all falls under this new strategic plan they're calling Future Ready. The goal here is, well, it's pretty ambitious. They want to make Renault the benchmark for European car makers on a global scale, basically setting the standard for everyone else. So this future-ready plan, it's built on four main pillars, as you can see here. They want to be growth-ready, that means a ton of new cars. Tech-ready, pushing all that innovation. Excellence-ready, that's those super efficient factories we talked about. And trust-ready, which is all about building strong partnerships. It's a complete 360-degree game plan. Okay, so what does all this high-tech, corporate strategy stuff actually mean for you? For the cars you'll actually be able to go out and buy. Well, it means a massive product blitz. Get ready for this. 36 new models are set to launch by 2030. We're not just talking about a minor refresh here. This is a complete overhaul of their entire lineup. And Renault is playing a really smart game here. It's a two-pronged attack. In Europe, they're going all in on electric, with 16 new EVs. But internationally, they're pushing into these huge growth markets with a more flexible mix of cars. The goal? To have half of all their sales come from outside of Europe. And the tech inside these cars? It's just as ambitious. By 2026, we're going to see their first software-defined vehicle. Think of it like a car that gets better over time with updates, just like your smartphone. Then, by 2030, they're aiming for the holy grail of owning an EV, a 10-minute charge. Just imagine that. Your car is fully charged in the time it takes you to grab a cup of coffee. But then, the strategy takes this really unexpected turn. They're leveraging all this new efficiency in a super surprising way, and it could honestly reshape alliances across the whole industry. Get this. What if your next Ford was actually built by Renault? It sounds crazy, right? But it's a core part of this future-ready plan. To make the most of their high-tech, super efficient factories, Renault is planning to build cars not just for their partners, but for their own competitors. And they're not thinking small. The target is to manufacture over 300,000 vehicles a year for a whole range of partners. We're talking giants like Nissan, Mitsubishi, and yep, even Ford. This basically turns their manufacturing power into a whole separate business. So when you step back and look at the whole picture, what does this high-stakes gamble really look like? It's way more than just a new business plan. It's a complete reimagining of what a car company can even be in this new era.
It really boils down to this bold four-step formula for winning. Step 1, slash costs using AI and robots. Step 2, innovate like crazy with next-gen tech. Step 3, flood the market with 36 new models. And Step 4, the clever part, leverage all that efficiency by building cars for everyone else. It's an all-out push to outpace the competition, especially those new, aggressive players coming out of China.
So, Renault is really betting the farm on this plan. They're making this massive wager on technology and innovation. But it leaves us with one final and really crucial question. In an industry that's being disrupted from every possible angle, will this high-tech revolution actually be enough to win?
And all that thought, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for dedicating your time to understanding this really complex and fascinating story with us.